hello to the people who have tuned in to this video. I was sick last week and I thought, what better way to get out of this kind of sickness funk than using a funky tune, right? So when I started to feel better and I still wanted to sit behind a computer, I started creating this little funk rhythm, and this is what something I was just playing around on my guitar. Now, of course, you know, my guitar sounds really nice as it is, and the reverb really adds to it, but I thought, you know, we need some really funky sounding guitar. So I started to create this patch that I called Funky Rhythm for whatever reason. So I'm gonna let the sound loop behind, maybe make it a little bit quieter here. I have to remember where it was before. So I'm gonna let it loop behind. And I started to do this patch, so I'm gonna explain what I did here. I added some compression first, because usually funk demands a little bit of compression. It just makes every note stand out. And a little EQ here. I found an area to boost which I liked. And now the bit that's a bit complicated comes. So from the EQ, I'm actually going into the Spider Audio Splitter. And now I have two outputs coming out. One goes into this guitar amp here, which gives the main sound, and after that it goes to this mixer channel here. So the other channel goes first to a chorus and then to an alligator. And this really, I think the alligator is the thing that brings out the funk here, really. To kind of add something to the rhythm, I added an echo. And this is actually, if you look at how the patch goes from the alligator and the amp, it goes into these two channels, so you could later maybe pan it out a little bit or do a little bit of mixing. And from there, from the master out, it goes to the echo, and then as a final thing, it goes into this Audiomatic, just to give it a little bit of old school tape saturation. And it's I think this is the one I was kind of happy with. This is where I stopped with this patch. So of course, I mean, if you already have this nice patch, maybe you should add a bit more instruments, right? I'm gonna bring in some more instruments first here. Okay, so I started working on a bit of, first of all, let's bring in, I'm gonna just turn this off. Where did I solo it, by the way? I saw it here? No, okay, it wasn't soloed actually. So, what I had, I punched in some drums. Why not? It's a bass. And now the guitar. And I know what you're thinking, the solo is missing, there is no interest here. And that's exactly what I thought. So, in order to get a good solo sound, I started playing around with something. I just recorded a little piece of a solo. I'm just going to loop a bit here so I don't have to re-record anything. And I did a similar process where I actually used a dual chain setup for the guitar. So first, let's listen to the solo without any effects on, except for a little bit of reverb. Sounds a bit wussy, doesn't it, right? So the first thing, another compressor. That's a lot better already. And then again, the splitting occurs right after the compressor. So from the compressor you go to the splitter, and then one channel goes into this phaser first. Yeah, that's a lot better. A little bit of unison here. And then you go into this guitar amp. And you actually have a little bit of wah here, so you dial out where your guitar starts to break up a little bit. To still get a bit of high end, but it already kind of starts to break out with some... Yeah, you heard that, right? So after that, for the second channel that comes out here, it goes to the scream. I think it's kind of hard to hear that. Yeah. So this is the second channel soloed. And then you get... And then after that, all of the things that come out of this mixer go to an equalizer. And then an echo unit. A compressor. Because, I mean, I have the compression in the beginning, but I really wanted to boost the signal by the end so it just stands out as a solo. You don't have to do this, by the way. You can just maybe drive it a bit more out of the amps or get more volume out that way. And again, some nice little tape saturation. So, and this is it. This is the tutorial. If you want to kind of recreate this, or you got a bit of your own ideas, you're welcome to do whatever I did here to get this kind of or similar kind of sound. And I uploaded the patches here, so under this video description somewhere you can actually find the zip file with these two patches. And for the solo patch, because it has a bit more parameters that you can do, so you have a boost frequency, so scrubbing it back and forth you can find the specific frequency where your guitar sounds best. I have a little dry knob, the compression for the end, final comp, you can turn it on and off, and the audiomatic you can turn on and off. So when you want to use any of these patches, you just create an audio track and open up the programmer and load it in here. I'm gonna let you hear the final result now. So here it is in all of its glory. A very cheesy bass with a little bit of cheesy funkiness on the top of it. So stay funky.